Text Prison Story family salute. Y'all, it's your boy Tim Snow back here with another one. Got my man in the house. I'm going to let him introduce himself in 1 second. As y'all know, today is Labor Day, so we figured we'd give you a couple different things today. You know, it's the working man's holiday for sure, so we want to talk about some prison jobs and some things that you might have to do on the inside. Because listen, a lot of
Different
people go
types of
into
labor, huh?
prison. Man, listen, a lot of people been to prison and never had a job. When I went to prison for the first time, I never had a job. As bad as that
Oh yeah.
sounds, like I was
Wow.
in the streets full blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we
Medical
talk about it
restriction or
all.
something. Yeah.
No, I'm saying in the world, I never had a free world job. You
Oh,
know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yes.
never, yeah, never had a job. So you get in there and find out you got to work for free and all that stuff. But I actually was on medical restriction, bottom bunk, and everything. So I got lucky, but don't mean I
Mhm.
didn't see everything that was happening and
Yes,
felt
sir.
blessed on the cool. I
Yeah.
was one that didn't want no job, so it was
Yeah.
good.
You
But
got it. Yeah,
yeah,
for real.
so anyway, we're gonna talk about that. We got some other things to talk about. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, y'all. He's now turned 25 years into prison into a business. We're proud of him, and y'all need to check him out. So introduce yourself, my man.
What's up, Texas Prison Stories fam? It's Shannon Marshall again. You know, thank y'all for the reception, man. I've loved it every time I've been on here, man. Y'all my people, man. But like I said, my name's Shannon Marshall. Got arrested at 17 years old. Did 25 years in prison under the law of parties on a murder case. And man, I've been out 8, 9 months. And so far so good. And I've just established an LLC whose sole purpose is to help people like us. You know what I'm saying? People that have been so-called justice impacted, been to the pen, probations, paroles, juveniles, this whole life. And that's what we do, man. We advocate, we mentor, we offer all kind of different services. If there's any interest out there, check me out. You can find me on Facebook page at Heart Check Prison Strategies Group.org. Like I
That's
said,
sweet. Say that.
everything's
Say
listed
that.
on
Say
there.
that address one more time.
Heart Check. Yeah, y'all recognize that. Heart
Hmm.
Check Prison Strategies Group.org.
All
And
right,
you'll
make
see
sure
all
y'all
of our
check it out.
services. My phone number and my email is listed on there. Reach out anytime. That's what we do.
So one thing I'm gonna say is, who really, they're good for everything, parole help, all kind of stuff, but
Yes.
specifically if you're a man in Texas that's never been to prison, you don't really know what it's going to be like, you're worried about it, you need some advice, some consultation, something like that, that's who you contact right there. Like we have services for federal prison that do that, but this is the one and only for the state of Texas prison. So
Absolutely.
if you're not a street cat, you got some DWIs, you maybe had a drug case, you know what I'm saying? Anything that might happen and you're just scared or you're nervous or you just don't know what to expect. That's the
You
man you
want
can
to
reach
go
out
in
to.
informed. Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely want to go in and
Yeah,
inform.
be
Like you want to
smart.
know the real life. And you can find out a lot on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, on this channel and all that, but there's a lot that we didn't talk about. There's some stuff that's just too raw for us to talk about, and
Ooh,
he can lace you up on everything. So that's true.
real
So
talk.
man, listen, you told me some bad news. I want you to shout your friend out though before we get going.
Woo! All right, man. Check me out, fam. Man, I made an obligation to come on here tonight. And I enjoy this, man. I'm grateful for the opportunity. But man, about 20 minutes, man, before this show just started, and I just found out one of my best friends died today. Today, just like within the last few hours. And you know what got him? The man's been out of prison 5, 6 years at least. Man, been doing good. Had a little rocky start, but then he evened out, working solar panel fields. Just bought a F-350. Man, the dude looks like he's shining. His sister contacts me today and said Beck is dead. My brother's name is Christopher Beck. Known this man for about almost 15 years. Been through the fire. Knew him on the inside and the outside. And man, I've always loved my boy, man. Even when everybody else was against him, man, I was there for my boy always. I either like you or I don't. That's how I am. It's easy. I either like you or I don't. But if I like you, and I accept you with all your faults, flaws, and anything else that goes along with it, you know. But man, check it out. I don't know all the details yet, man. His sister told me, man, they're saying he died of a fentanyl overdose. And I don't think he would take straight fentanyl. So in all likelihood, the man popped a pill or something that he thought was going to be something else. I don't know what, but OD'd on fentanyl. every time y'all pop a pill, pills more than anything, they're lacing everything with it. But every time you pop a pill, man, people, y'all playing Russian roulette. Man, look at this. Man, today, within the last few hours, man popped a pill and he's dead. Come on, bro. This happens every single day. But yeah, man, that just happened, y'all. But here I am, because I think y'all need to know that too.
I think so too. And man, I didn't talk about it, but one of my loved ones and family members about 3 or 4 weeks ago, the same thing happened to him. Like he couldn't
Yeah.
describe it better when he said Russian roulette. Like we didn't have this situation going. We were young. These kids right now, even these adults, man, it's a deadly consequence right now. You're playing with your life just to catch a buzz, and everybody, you know
Mm.
how it goes, man. Everybody thinks it's not gonna be them, bro. Then guess
Yeah.
what? It's your unlucky day, and it's gonna be a
Woo!
mess out here, man. So I'm sorry to hear that for real. Like that messed me up when you told me because
Yeah,
what just happened
I'm
in my
still
family
absorbing
too.
it myself, brother.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
for
That's
sure.
fresh.
Oh, so with that being said, y'all pray for that man right there. Pray for his family,
R.I.P.,
friends,
man.
everybody.
Christopher Beck.
R.I.P. Mr. Beck for sure. So,
Barely hit 40 years old.
oh, that's
40
rough
years
too.
old.
Yeah,
Mm.
my loved one was 21, bro.
Damn, bro.
21. Hadn't even
Yes.
lived life. He just got out of federal prison for smuggling illegal aliens. He did 2 little bids on that. He went back on a violation, got out, was clear off paper, had every chance in life to shine. Every chance in life to shine, and it's a waste of life, man. So it's a tragedy. It
Mm.
really is, and I just hope.
Ooh-wee.
So off topic. Did you see Trump
Yeah.
is passing or pushing a law that if you get caught selling fentanyl, it's going to be a 10-year minimum on this now.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
10-year minimum, dog. So it's going to be they're going to have to
Ooh-wee.
build new penitentiaries for this because everything people are
Right.
selling has it in there now.
And people are familiar and aware of fentanyl now, but fentanyl is deadly. We all know this. We have an awareness at this point. What y'all don't hear much about is car fentanyl. Car fentanyl is, I forget exactly how many times, but it's something like 10 times more deadly than regular
Hmm.
fentanyl. They're using that too. Apparently it's cheap and they can cut like all kinds of stuff with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just money to them, but it's life and death to everybody else. And
Yeah,
then there's the third one, fentanyl, car fentanyl, and there's this stuff out now called nitazines or nitazines, either or. And man, this stuff is 45 times as potent as fentanyl, and that's what's
it's
circulating
unbelievable.
now, and it's right here in Texas. There's been deaths in Houston and probably deaths in TDCJ already.
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable, right? That's the one where they can't even test for it, huh?
No,
No
it
toxicology
even in
reports,
a
anything.
even in a like an autopsy, they have to actually test something that they usually don't test. It shows up in the analogs, not in the regular like toxicology blood screening.
Right.
They have to test the analogs even to know it's there. But yeah, it's another killer. Like the tip of a pen, the little ballpoint pen, something like that. Death.
It's crazy,
Come on,
man.
man. Come on,
It's
is that really
crazy.
worth it? Is it worth it,
Hell
man?
no.
Just
And listen,
no,
the
bro.
other thing that's happening right now is they're selling this stuff in a gas station called 70H. 70H is a synthetic opioid that it's an
Got
extract.
that kratom? Is that what
No,
that
so
is?
listen, it's an extract from the kratom, right? It's a
Okay.
tiny, it's like maybe 1/2 of 1% of a kratom plant, but it's not banned. So they
Oh
making it
yeah.
in laboratories right now. It's all man-made, everything that they buy. And I've seen people online talking about it, people on rehab groups suggesting it to stop opiate withdrawals, and it's worse than the actual drug. It's
Ooh.
unbelievable. It's getting cheap now. Yeah, oh man, bro.
I've seen those in the store. I don't really know what it is, so I ain't gonna mess
I
with nothing.
know.
But
Oh man,
yeah,
they
little
sell
blue
pills,
bottles.
those little bottles, everything now. Yeah, and that stuff you detox off it so bad, it's worse than heroin, similar to K2, gives
Woo.
you that same anxiety, same crazy stuff, but it
Mm.
hasn't been killing people that I know of, right? Maybe it has, maybe it hadn't heard of no deaths,
I
but I know
haven't.
people that's lost their jobs, lost their family, they're flat broke dealing with it, they can't function, and it's
Mm.
right there at the gas station.
Wow, that sounds kind of similar to K2. I remember
It's
a buddy of
it's
mine.
exactly how the K2 started.
Yeah, I remember a buddy of mine. He told me one time before I ever got out of prison, and this always stuck with me, right? And apparently it's true from everything I've been able to see out here. He said, K2, man, everybody I know that smokes K2 in the free world, they're either homeless or like dead. Like everybody that smokes K2 is apparently mostly homeless. 99% of them. Like, it's a homeless drug and
And
a
the ones
drug for the
selling it.
incarceration
Yeah.
for people in prison and people in homeless camps. And man, that makes you kind of suspicious, right? Why isn't just these populations that are really into that? I don't know. It's odd.
My theory on that is, for as far as the inside, it spread in there wild because the dogs couldn't smell it.
Right.
The laws felt comfortable bringing it in, and then it has such an addictive property that the inmates, once they get a taste of it, they can't stop. Almost,
Right.
listen, somebody's third time smoking it, they're finna start detoxing, they're finna start tripping. It don't matter how bad their high was, dog. You're physically now on about 3 times,
Yep.
and what is that? That's a drug dealer's dream, ain't it? Think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ain't there some song or something that says make them OD, they'll come back twice as fast? Something like that. Like, I've
Probably
heard that,
so.
right? I've
I never
heard
heard
this
it,
in
but
music. Like, yeah, that's a real thing, bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when the pills hit and people start dying, other people rush to go buy them. The same way with heroin always
Think about it in
was.
prison. Think about it in prison. We seen a cat roll out on the tune wagon on a stretcher or something, or in an ambulance. What's everybody say? Man, where did you get that at? Who got that?
Yeah.
Well, I need some of that.
I ain't never heard nobody call it the tune wagon, boy. That's crazy as hell.
That's the tune wagon, bro.
That's real life too, isn't it, man?
For real. There goes another one.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. So listen, we're gonna get on topic tonight because you got a lot of stuff you wanted to say too. But I did want to talk about Labor Day, some of the prison jobs, man. Everybody knows. Normally, when you first get to prison, especially if you're on an ID unit for sure, some transfer units too, what they're gonna do? Probably put you in those fields.
Whole squad, turn out.
Going to whole squad. When I was on Beto, they had so many whole squads, bro. They call like whole squad 1 through 50. It was so many of them. It was crazy.
Yeah, there's not as many no more though. Whole squad's not a big thing anymore. They do have it, but it's not a big thing no more. They've mostly turned the agriculture over to machinery. They take people
why though,
out,
right? Short on staff. They couldn't even have the officers to run the field
too.
squad no more.
Yeah, field officers are working the buildings now. They're just regular COs again. Yeah.
And they love that, riding on their horses and being outside all day. But the inmates, certain inmates would like it. They'd enjoy it, especially the close custody guys and shit. They get to go outside for a minute, you know what I mean? But there's so many other jobs, Shannon, shit, man, from the industry places. What can you, like, there's a sign shop. They got a lot
of different industries. Yeah.
Bro, sign shops, tire shops, furniture shops,
right.
Clothes,
detergent. Yeah, clothing. Yeah, they're making bank. The shower shoes that they sell are made by TCI.
Yeah, are they the Bob Barkers? Yes, they used to be Bob Barkers. I thought.
No, they're black. They've been switched up several times.
Really?
They look like Crocs now. Black rubber with little holes in them.
So they save money by starting to make them themselves, huh?
Yep, absolutely. And then they sell them to themselves.
Ain't that crazy? Man, that's a hell of a game right there.
Right.
Prison industry, y'all. This is the industrial prison complex. That's what they call it.
Prison industrial complex. Yep. Yeah, because think about it. We start out with Labor Day. It's Labor Day, man, and I hope everybody's safe out there, but enjoying yourself and staying free. But at the same time, man, Labor Day, those who work, those who put in work, man, and this is a day of rest. A day to reap your rewards, man, to reap the fruits of your labor. But sometimes, man, that doesn't happen like that. If you're unfortunate enough to go to prison, they're going to force you to work unless you got some medical restrictions you can get away with. They're going to force you to work. Are they going to reward you for working? No. They're going to pay you anything? Absolutely not. But if you decide I ain't going to do all that for free, for nothing, they're going to discipline you repetitively until you drop down to medium custody, drop down to closed custody, and then they'll let you rot. But
so I lay it down. Hold on, listen. We're also talking about no commissary, no visits. None of that. Your tablet's going to be restricted. Everything. Your life is going to be hell if you don't.
They're going to make it hard on you. Yep. They're going to make it hard, man. And like you said, punish you if you don't work, but don't reward you if you do. Not even if you got any 3G offense, not even in so much as good time. So I can make parole a little bit sooner. No, you're not even getting that. You get nothing in Texas. This is I don't know what else to call it, brother, but by any definition, that is slave labor. Period. Slavery is apparently alive and well in the state of Texas because almost every other state in the country, they pay at least something to an inmate worker. Nine,
Isn't that
90
crazy?
something percent of them.
You
Yes.
know, in the feds, they have something called maintenance pay. In the feds, if you didn't have a job at all, you still got
Yeah.
$5 a month.
Oh wow. That's kind of
You know,
good. That's kind of
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So they
Yeah.
had jobs paying $50 a month in the feds, $20 a month, $35 a month, all the way to where, listen, when they did
Mhm.
the prison industries in the feds, some of those guys would make $300 and $400 a month in there.
Wow. Not
Isn't that
bad,
crazy?
bro.
No, it
Not
was
bad.
good. So
Yeah,
guys that
they
had
can
big
get a little
time was trying to,
comfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah, they would give them enough money to buy food, buy them some cigarettes, go gamble. Like they lived a life in there where they didn't have to
Yeah.
really depend on the free world. Because a lot of these dudes doing life without parole. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I mean,
what is
that's
it
their
called?
house,
It's
bro.
yeah, it's called
That's their
Unicore.
house.
That's what it is. So Unicore made army helmets, bulletproof vests. Three Rivers, Texas, they make police cars. They take a regular Ford and then wire it up, put the cages in, do everything.
Wow.
You know what I
I ain't
mean?
never heard
So
that. Wow, that's cool. I
yeah,
didn't know none of that.
they make a lot of
Yeah.
stuff for the military, all kind of shit from the. Hey, listen, in Texas, I believe the inmates make the guard uniforms. I know they make the inmate uniforms, the
You know they tailor
mattresses.
them for sure. The
Yeah,
inmate uniforms and mattresses, absolutely. I know they
yeah.
tailor the guards' uniform and
I
stuff.
don't know if they make them or not. Do they? I
I'm
think they
not sure,
might.
bro.
They look
I
kind
haven't
of
seen
nice
them.
to be made by the inmates, though, huh?
I don't know, bro. I've seen some inmates that'll sew you up anything, man. I got muscle shirts and long sleeve shirts and all kinds of stuff sewed up from. I mean, I see them sew up a whole jumpsuit out of sheets
No
because
shit. I
it's
know I
not
had some
the
gym
regular
shorts somebody
jumpsuit.
made.
It's like sackcloth. Yeah, that too. And I always
Hmm.
had to have some pockets. I mean, I gotta have pockets. But shorts
Yeah,
don't come with pockets in prison. So
right.
you gotta have somebody sew you some pockets in there. It's a
That's
hustle. It's a
crazy.
way to feed yourself. If you ain't sewing, man, and you ain't got nobody helping you out, and so many dudes, man, they get to washing laundry. Some people think they're above it, but boys get hungry month after month, year after year. They want some coffee, some soups, a couple of things to make life easier. And they wash clothes. They come up with all kind of hustles, man.
Hey, there goes
Sell
another
taffy.
job too, though. Look, working in the laundry, working in the
Yes,
kitchen. You might work in the
it's a
kitchen. You
hustle.
might be the guy that pours the juice. You might be the guy that's washing the dishes. You might be peeling potatoes. You might be chopping up
Right.
vegetables. Might be the
I
butcher
was a
back
cook.
there.
I was
Was
a
you?
cook for 6 months. Yeah.
No shit. So what
For
all did
six
you have to
months,
do when you
man.
was a cook? Like what's that
So
job entail?
there was we had to cook for the whole unit, and at this time I had went from max farm to the minimum, and so it was like 1,300 people, and there was about five of us on the cook's floor, about five cooks. They all worked together, man, to make the meal every day. Like the kitchen ODR will wheel everything out, and man, we just make it from all the raw ingredients, bro. We'll cook for 1,300 people, man. Of course, we get to cook our own stuff. It had its perks, cook our own little special meals, jazz them up as much as we
Right, y'all
can.
get some seasoning
Yeah.
in it, huh?
Oh yeah. Plus, back then, man, I was still a little sideways, man, and I mostly made burgers. My four coworkers, they'd be cooking lunch for the unit, and I'm over here making burgers. I make about 75 burgers a day, right? How many you want? 10, 10,
Yeah.
10? All right. I want about 20. But
Hell yeah. So
again,
listen,
that's
let me ask you on the burgers.
how I survived.
Did you have somebody running them back for you selling them, or was you selling them wholesale?
Sometimes, to tell you the truth,
Because I
like
seen it both ways.
a cat that worked on the floor, like pouring the juice and stuff, I can give them burgers to sell. And the deal like that is whatever they sell, it's 50-50. Because they're out there peddling and, I'm the cook, whatever, 50-50. So that's 50%, but it's still free, Or, like I said, I was a little sideways still. I used to carry my own back to the wing with me. You boys will know this, convicts. Remember that? Like I guess it's a hernia strap or a back
Yeah,
strap or
that
something.
stomach
It
strap thing.
wraps it. Man,
Hmm.
bro, 22 burgers at a time, all the way around the body. Rows of three. Strap on 22 burgers and take them back to the house, man. $1.50 a pop. And I'm
Hell
talking, these are
yeah.
big old hamburgers. I try to make something for other people that I wouldn't mind buying. I was like that. So they loved me. They had people trying to pre-order and stuff. But yeah,
So you
that was my
selling
hustle
chicken
for a while.
patties too? Chicken
Yes, sir.
patties,
Peanut
chicken.
butter.
Yeah.
We
We
just
had, I can remember a
just
couple times, bro. Check this out. Where I sat down at a table, like more than once, and there was shit up under the table, like right there,
oh
where
yeah.
somebody got it and got scared and put it right there or something. One time we got it, it was a pack of chicken patties, and some Mexican dudes was mad because we took it. But
I appreciate
they got up and left out with it. They was when we got back to the wing, they was like, "Say, man, them ours." I said, "Shit, no, they're not."
No,
I
I
said,
just packed this stuff across
yeah,
the whole unit.
hell yeah. I said, nah, these ours right now. They were mad about it. But another time, I remember finding some, and the dude looked over, and the dude was heading out the line. He said, "You can have them. You can have." I don't know if they got scared. It's, certain
Yeah,
laws
probably.
working that door gonna search you. They
Yeah.
start getting
Some of
scared
them
or
are
whatever.
stiff. Yeah, you know
Mm-hmm.
who's who. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
When I
guess
was
it
on
was the.
Cofield, I was on Cofield unit. Whenever you walk through the chow hall door entering the kitchen, there's always a cat posted up right there with a trash can. He's like, "What y'all want? I got chicken patties, I got peanut butter, I got sugar, I got cheese.
Got
What y'all
everything.
want?" Every day, right there. It's, as soon as you walk in, that was Cofield unit. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's one job, man. And like I said, I was trying to survive in there too, so that was my little hustle. That's how I got my coffee and soups and all that stuff. At least for 6 months. I only
Hell
lasted
yeah.
6 months. I didn't really want to be a cook. That's why I was carrying my own stuff because I really didn't care. And of course, eventually they popped me. They didn't really get me with nothing but like one burger because I shook everything else off. That's all it took though. Little
One
contraband
burger.
case,
Yeah.
job change, holler at you.
What they send you to after that? Is to the fields now, or did they send you somewhere
Uh,
else?
they weren't really using fields. So what did I think they made me an SSI for a little while. Just
Oh
left me
shit,
on the
that's all
wing,
right.
man. Like sweep them off the floor. All
Oh, the
right.
run SSI. Yeah.
Yeah, on the
That's
wing.
another one. Listen, SSI. Your ass gonna go in prison and be a janitor.
Yeah, they call it an SSI.
What's that even stand for? Special service inmate or something? I don't know. I
Woo!
never
I
asked
did
nobody.
not know, bro. No, nobody ever asked that. I
I never
had
knew.
no clue.
When I
Yeah,
first got there, I'm like, what the hell's an SSI? They're like, janitor.
the
I'm like,
janitor.
why we don't call them janitors? It don't sound good.
Hey,
Nobody
that's a
wants to
good
call themselves a
question.
janitor. You know what?
That's a good question, man. It just shows that I'm so used to it. I don't even think about it. Yeah.
SSI was a good job though. I mean, it was like when everybody's racked
SSI
down, you still get
in
to get out.
SEG. If you ever get an SSI in SEG job, man, them fools make so much money because all them
My
fools
brother
are
was going on
caged
Bill
up.
Clemens. Yeah, my brother
Oh
was
man,
going on Bill Clemens.
you mess around, get rich back there. Yeah, just
Yeah, he loved
passing
it.
kites, passing little kites, and maybe some food and some books and magazines. People are starving for any type of diversion back there.
He liked it
That's a good
because he'd always get extra trays. They sent too many trays, and
one.
he'd be back there eating for free and eating all the trays. My
Yeah.
brother was greedy with that food, man. That's actually
Hungry
to be
boy.
his birthday. Yeah, rest in peace, my brother's his birthday in a few days, but he gained a ton of weight, man. We're being an SSI and SEG, believe it or not,
Yeah, a
back
lot of
there.
dudes that
Yeah,
are in SEG gain a lot of weight. They got money because they just lay up on their back, radio
ain't
or
working
whatever,
out,
just
huh?
just eat. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've seen, like I got a homeboy. He's a computer genius. The dude is literally like 560 pounds, bro. And that he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't like that before he went to SEG. He did like 10 years in SEG. He discharged a 20 piece. He's out here doing great, shining. Yeah,
Damn, he discharged it day for day.
20 piece. Yes, sir. Like I said, computer whiz. Probably the only legitimate genius I met in my life. Because the man is really a genius, like a realistic one. You cannot miss this cat on anything. You pull a question out of space somewhere, he's going to know something about it. One of them
I, I
types.
I got a question for you. I never asked you. This is a little bit off topic, but I feel like it'll be a good
Yeah,
question. So this man did 25 on a 35. You've been out what 9 months now? You've been out.
about
Today
that.
makes 9 months, right? But this month will be
Mhm.
9. You got out
No,
on right around the
I
first,
got
right?
it. I consider December 16th my release date because remember I
Okay.
got released in November 12th. I was
Is
out
that what it was? Yeah.
less than 24 hours. As soon as I reported to the parole office, they arrested me, sent me back to Dallas, sent me to Dallas County Jail. So after 25 years in prison, bro, I'm out for less than 23 hours, and all of that spent driving from Houston to Dallas because they released me in Houston, even though my address was way up here. And yeah, they gave me a technical violation because my ankle monitor. And man, I spent my first 33 days in the free world in Dallas County Jail.
It's
Devastated.
fucked up.
So I
Yeah.
consider December 16th to be my release date, bro.
Here's my question for you though. So when you got out, you did go straight to work. You started working
Yeah,
and everything else. While
yes,
you
sir.
was on that clock, did you ever think, fuck, man, I could have been denied parole and still in the joint right now. Like, you ever thought about what life would be like compared to what it is right now? Did you not make that parole and you had to discharge at 35?
Nah, not so much in those terms. I think about it in two other ways. One, I think about just be honest, man, just all the shit I shouldn't have survived, bro. Like, man, there was too many times I could have been dead in prison, bro. And sometimes I, by all rights, don't know how I ain't, but anyway, I think about that sometimes, man, which makes me appreciate and be grateful for being here. But then I also think, and I really don't think about this much, man, because the thought just horrifies me to the core of my being. But no, whenever you think like, well, I couldn't imagine going back to prison, man, after finally getting out, after so long, man, and all that, man, I couldn't imagine getting sent back to prison, bro. Like, woo,
It'd be stressful
man,
taking that first bus
yeah,
ride from that county, wouldn't it, man?
well, they can have that, bro. I don't need none of that in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be some fucking anxiety, bro, sitting in the county knowing you got to go back and then catching
No,
that
but
bus ride.
it's also a good thought, man. Like I say, not something to dwell on, but it's a good thought, man, to use to keep yourself from doing something stupid, man. Whenever you consider it, like, man, somebody does something stupid, man, and I really just want to punch this fool down, man. Like that's my penitentiary conditioning. I want to punch this fool down, man, and I can't do it, bro. I better not. They will send me back to prison, man. You can't even have a fist fight out here, man. I got 2 different homeboys that've been in trouble for it already. And I got a violent criminal offense. I better don't. Better don't.
Yeah, for real. Hey, that's So we did talk about that the other day, though. At least you're walking down that 10 years every day free. Is one less day that you'd have to, if God forbid you ever did go back. You know what I'm saying? Like you're walking it down right now, and it's getting.
Yes, sir. It's counting.
You're almost to the first year down. You know what I mean?
Sir.
And yeah, so man,
somebody
said something. Somebody said something in the comments about a lot of people failing when they get out because it's so hard to find a job. And let me say one thing before you go, because I know you got a lot to say about this. What I always tell these people about prison and felonies and all this shit, bro, it goes to that. It goes to apartments don't want to rent you an apartment because you got a criminal record. It's a lot of shit that goes. I
got denied 7 times. Yeah.
I remember it goes a lot of stuff that goes. Can you speak on that a little bit? Like how you felt about all that when you first got out? Did you feel it was going to be a hard battle or still to this day?
Yeah, I expected a hard battle because I've been hearing all these stories from everybody about life after prison forever. Matter of fact, I wrote a poem that's titled Life After Prison, A Convict's Stigmata. And I wrote that years before I ever got out of prison, just off all these other guys' stories, man, that keep coming back. And, but yeah, I expected a rough time and it ended up not being that. And you know, the number one difference, man, the people you meet while you're on the inside, plenty of them, man, many of them will be good dudes, man, good people. You know, get that information, man. If y'all click, y'all vibe, you know, they're talking right. They got something going on out there, man. Get some information. That's what I did. Network. Even while you're in there, network. You know, I got out. I got a job my first week out. You know why? Homeboy I met in prison got me the job. You know, I didn't have a place to live. You know, I ended up renting a room because I couldn't get an apartment, and parole wouldn't accept me renting a room in a sober living house. Can you imagine that? A legitimate sober living house.
They wouldn't
That's
accept
what they violated me for, because I spent the night at a sober living house my first night out, and they violated me for that. And, well, they didn't violate me, but they put a tech on me, and I had to sit in county for 33 days to get a parole hearing just to get reinstated. Yeah, that's how that worked.
So that's another thing too. Somebody was saying parole stipulations. There's people out here that got to take classes and do all kind of stuff too when they get on papers. It makes it hard. A lot of them don't have transportation, everything.
But it was somebody I met in prison, bro. Got me the job and he got me a place to stay, man. An associate of his, a buddy of his that he knows, has a big house and had an extra room that he rented me the room. So I spent my first 2 months like that, you know. And then towards the end of that, man, homeboy that owned the house, he started like kind of letting me know on the cool, but not being blunt that, hey, you know, this ain't no permanent gig. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You
need to start figuring something out. So I started feeling the pressure. Then I started shooting at apartments and stuff because I've been working, had a little bread saved up. I bought my first cash car, got that for like $2,500. It's been good so far, blessing. And then, you know, but now I need housing. 7 different apartment complexes. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, I started to get a little desperate, starting to think and wonder, like, man, what am I gonna do? But you know my solution to that. Another cat that I met in prison, you know, he's living in a trailer house, like out here in the country. It ain't really a trailer park. It's a neighborhood, but there's a lot of trailer houses and like shotgun houses and stuff like that. But anyway, I called him and asked him if what his setup was and if there was any openings out there. And he's like, yeah, let me call the landlady. Calls me back, tells me there's openings. I told him, man, call her, tell her I'm fixing to call her in 15 minutes, man. Just pave the way for me. I got the bread right now. 24 hours, done deal. Done deal. Here I am.
That's a blessing right
house.
there. Yeah.
The people you know, you can network no matter where you're at. I met some incredible people in prison. You know, the extremes on both sides. You know, and there's all kinds of people, man. Network, get to know some people, you know, and take down some information. You know, I don't care if it's years later. I hit them up. Hey, what's up? You remember me?
So I ain't gonna lie. When I got out, I've been out 8 years now, and when I got out, I went back and got my CDL again, and I didn't have no. But listen, I thank you. I didn't have no leads. I didn't know where to go, what to do. Right. I had actually when I got out, bro, I only had $40 to my name. And my mom gave me this little car that she paid $600 for. It was like a little $600 cash car that she got a hookup though. It ran good. It wasn't bad. It was old. It was an old ass car. Nothing that I would really want to be driving in, right? But when you ain't got nothing else, bro, you ain't got nothing else. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? So me and this chick at the time, this is like my third day out, man. It's probably fourth day out, I guess. I was like, you know what? We got to go look for a job. And I just went and knocked on the door, a place that I seen some trucks. I didn't know anything about them, nothing. And I said, hey, y'all hiring truck drivers? And they looked at me like, how'd you know? And I'm like, are y'all? Yeah. And they said, we got a guy quitting tomorrow. We need somebody. And I looked into that. Like, they had a man leaving the very next day. Here I show up this day, you know, and got that job. I worked there for 3 years, got a little place and everything. And, man, it was just meant to be, I guess. But I think that's the hardest part for people that don't got a hookup. They come home, man. Like I said, when I went to prison when I was younger, I never even had a job in the free world. Didn't have a career, no skills, no anything.
Me neither. I worked at Kroger one time for like maybe a week. Yeah, that was about it. Never had a job before that.
Right. So let's say change is different. Had you not known anybody, had you not had the foresight to think about the future, what do you think it would have been like coming out?
It would have been even harder for sure. But I remember before I got out, I was thinking about all this, man, because, you know, my mom and dad, grandparents, everybody died while I did that 25, bro. I'm an only child. I ain't got no brothers or sisters, so I ain't got no family support, you know. So it's one deep. I got to figure this out. And I got dreams. I got goals. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to live on the bottom my entire life. So, man, I was looking on the tablets and stuff like that. There's a lot of resources. You know, and I found resources for clothing, you know, some resources for jobs. You just got to dig into them. You can look up and Google like second chance employers in your area. And those are employers that, you know, profess that they hire, you know, ex-convicts, ex-felons, whatever, right? Second chance employers. Look them up. A lot of them are going to be BS. But man, you just need one good one to hit and you'll land something. You know, job fairs. I got some job fairs, man. I had to consider all this. This ain't what we want to do, but hey, I got to make it work. I got to start life at square one at 42 years old. I'm gonna do whatever I got to do. Right. Just like I had my mind made up before I got out. I don't care if I got to take a job at McDonald's or Burger King or Jack in the Box. Not what I want. You need income. I don't care what it is. You can move up, get something better later. Start getting a paycheck. And I think I told y'all last time, man. If you're on parole, as soon as you get gainfully employed and you show that first paycheck to your PO, send them a picture of it or something, bro, they will rise up off of you dramatically. You know, that's been my experience. And anything that is pertaining to work, they're not allowed to interfere in your employment at all. Like they changed all the policies in Texas. They're stiff on employment on parole.
What's that mean? What do you mean?
You will never be called by your parole officer and told that you need to come for a UA right now if you're at work. They have to work around your job. They can never interrupt that. Okay. So you can come before, after, next day. They can't tell you to leave your job. And if you need to travel for work or do this or that for work, as long as it is work related and you can show that, they are obligated by policy now from the top down to work around your employment. right? So job is key. Get employed. I don't care what it is. Get
So how does
something you
that
can
go though
do
with
better
people that got
later.
to take, like somebody was in the comments, they got to take the drug classes when they get out. They got to go to certain things. Like I probably thinking he probably still got to do those though, right?
They don't let them take the drug classes online. Most of them
I
they
don't
allow
know.
you to do it online.
Can you? Oh,
Like
there goes the answer.
I had to take AA or NA once a week, when I got out. And, yeah, once a week. No, excuse me, I'm lying. Two or three times a week in the beginning. I didn't even have a drug charge, but 2 or 3 times a week I had to attend it. And just like one parole officer, he made me. Anybody that's ever been on an AA or NA website meeting, there's a button you could push that says record attendance, and you do that. And when the next morning you wake up, you'll have an email verifying that you
Oh,
attended.
really?
You send that verification to your PO. That's all they
Okay.
need.
I didn't know. That's some free game right there, huh?
That's how I did it. I didn't ever have to physically go to a meeting.
You know what? While I'm thinking about it, so I give some people some advice to live in the big cities. I know Houston, I know Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, places like that. In Houston, there's something called Produce Row, and I think all the cities have them. It's where the produce comes in. It's warehouses. It's literally
Oh,
everything
okay.
at the grocery stores,
I got to thinking
right?
about farmers markets and stuff. I'm like,
Well,
what?
it's where it's the wholesale spot where these
Okay.
people drop the shit to HEB, to Kroger's, to all the little gas stations, to restaurants, everything. We have one in Houston called Brothers Produce, and there's a bunch of it's a street called Produce Row in Houston, but every big city
Okay.
has the same situation, right? I don't know, it's
Yeah.
not called the exact same, but you can look at it
Sure.
and figure out where you're at. That was the place when we got out the feds, bro. If they were trying to get every single person in the halfway house to get a job because you had to give them 33% of your paycheck. So they
That's
was on
crazy.
your ass to get a job, right? And if you didn't want to get one, nothing happened. But they sure would make your time in the halfway house hell. You wouldn't be able to leave. You wouldn't be able to do nothing else. You know what I mean? So they were accepting all felons, everything. It's just straight
Yeah.
warehouse work. You can go somewhere, these little schools, they call it a forklift license, but it's actually a certification. It's just basically a 1 day forklift safety class. They give you a little
Awesome.
card or whatever. You can go work in these warehouses. You can run the forklift. You don't got to do no manual labor, but those type of jobs right there will
Mhm.
take anybody.
Y'all want a leg up, man, on most of these units here in Texas, these industry jobs, you can go in there and you can train on the forklift. You even get an OJT. If you do it for
Yeah.
6 months, you'll get an OJT forklift operator,
See what
and
I'm
that
saying?
give you a
Same
leg
thing.
up. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Also, there was something Shannon called Sir Jobs for Progress. It's in the big cities. It's a government sponsored program. I might have mentioned this before, but they'll give you the free forklift certification classes. They'll help
Okay.
you. So also, if you're out here and you don't know what to do, you can contact Sir. It's SER Jobs for Progress, and they got something called a career coach, right? And they're the truth, dog. When you go in there, you ask for a career coach, and they're professional resume writers. So what they'll do is they
Yeah.
ask you everything you did in prison. If you were a janitor, they're gonna say you did what chemicals. You know how to organize and work with chemicals, like to the
Yes.
point. I don't know
Yes.
exactly how to explain, but they are
What
professionals.
experiences you have? Yeah. What is your
Yeah,
experience in?
and they'll write you a professional one-page resume that'll get you a job almost anywhere. As
Wow.
long as
Tell
you're
me the
going
name of
into
the tell me the name of place again. What?
SER. It's called Sir
SER. Okay.
Jobs for Progress. It started off
Cool.
maybe in the 50s or some shit like that for Hispanic people. They put it in the Hispanic. Then it
Mhm.
started being for black men, Hispanic men, and then later any man coming home from prison. It don't matter what your race is or anything like that. As long as you're coming
Good
home from
deal.
prison, then
Yeah.
when you get in them with them, they'll send you to OSHA classes. That's how I went to welding school
Yeah.
for free. I
Yeah.
went
I
to
got an
welding school
OSHA
for free.
certificate
Yeah.
inside. Yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, I got NCCR numbers in welding now for free.
So do
Like
I.
from this
I'm in
program, they
the
gave me.
NCCR database. Yeah.
Yeah,
For
I'm in there. Yeah,
plumbing and pipe fitting level 1. Yeah.
right. See, that's dope right there. That's a major thing. It shows that you
Yes.
went to school, you learned certain things, and that's a
You know,
leg up on the job.
people might not be hip to that what NC I always mess up the letters.
NCCER, two
NCCR.
C's. Yeah,
Right. Uh People ain't really hip to that. This is not a prison thing. That database is a national database for all craftsmen in America. When
right.
you get a vocational trade in prison, your name and info goes into that database and you'll get a certificate. And I have at least one friend. I talked to him on the phone before I got out of prison. and he was telling me he had a job interview, and they went down through there, and at the end the guy asked him, anything else? He's like, well, and he remembered that. Oh, I got a vocational trade in this too, and I should be in that NCCR database. And I was like, really? Let me look. And the employer looked it up right then and there. Wow, sure enough, I ain't never seen this. And he wasn't that familiar with it. Apparently, nobody else that worked there had that credential.
Right.
Got him a job.
See,
right there.
That's what I'm saying. So if you need help, the cool part about Serve Jobs with Progress, once you get in, it's also almost like a work source solution type thing, right?
Yeah.
They got people in companies there that hire felons. They're literally a pipeline into getting you a job. And they're not bad jobs. They're good jobs. Like, right, they get you in, but once you get approved into the program, they'll help you for the rest of your life. Think about that.
There's a program like that up in Dallas. I believe it's called Unlocking Doors. Anybody on the inside, you'll see it in every copy of the Echo. They got an ad in there.
I never heard
Unlocking
about that
Doors. They what they do, because I looked into them tough. I was going to use them, and I turned a couple of friends onto them, but they are tied in with all of these industries and jobs in and around Dallas, right? So people get out of prison, they go to unlockingdoors.org, set up an appointment. You'll have to go in physically and have an interview, but they'll find out everything about you, just like you were describing. What do you have experience in? And like I said, they already have contacts with all these people, and they funnel workers.
Right. And when you deal with the people they're dealing, so that is exactly like Sir. And Sir has one in Dallas also. They might even be connected. So what happens when they're bringing you to these companies, there isn't that weird stigma of, oh, he's a felon. That they know. They're requesting you. Like, they want felons. You know what I'm saying? And they're not bad jobs. Yeah. They had shipyards that were hiring, warehouses. Man, they were getting people on the railroad. They were doing all kind of stuff back then. It's been
that's
about
the reason
years.
they love convicts so much in the oil field. The oil field's hard work, brother. I'm talking bust ass. But
they know you're hungry.
Man, they know you're hungry, dog. And people coming out of prison, man, we've been held back, and there ain't no catching up. I don't ever use the term catch up, because there ain't no such thing. You know what I'm saying? And all that making up live life day for day. But we got a lot to do, a lot to accomplish. And man, we ain't trying to drag our heels on it. Man, they love that about us. And when other employers see that, and they love that too. So yeah, that's smart hiring, really.
Hell yeah. And then I hate to say it, is we're used to having a boss man over us and shit like that too, watching. Like, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? It's not even as bad as a joint job. Did you ever have a prison laundry job?
No, I did not. Thankfully.
You didn't? Man, the one in
I
Beto,
had a lot of different jobs, but no, I avoided the laundry.
I did work in the one in Beto for a little while. They in the same in the county, bro. They have those laundry, like, you're stuck. You might be on top of the dryers. Them dryers are so hot, so miserable. If you leave the clothes in too long, the clothes catch on fire. That's how hot the dryers are. You know what I'm saying?
And the washing machines, you've seen this being in laundry. What I've seen, they always overfill the washing machines. Because as soon as they're done washing, they can go. So they're in a hurry. So they overfill.
That's why nothing's ever clean, huh?
All the water, I'm not exaggerating, not one little bit, I promise. The water is black. You see it swishing around, and it's black. Like, oh my God. I wash my own clothes. If I didn't wash my clothes, I'd pay somebody else a couple soups to wash them. Yeah.
So I know you bought some tight whites out the laundry before.
I have before for like certain events, but I didn't just like strut around in tight whites on the daily. I don't see no
I would always, so I wasn't getting a lot of visits, but you know what? Me and my homeboys would always have at least one set for us that somebody gonna keep it under their mattress pressed up. You know what I mean? And it might be his, and I go throw them on or something. It might be mine.
Whites. Yeah. Didn't that ever strike you as kind of strange, man? That we literally buy them brand new, so they're icy whites, right? We buy brand new icy white clothes and to wear to visit, fix ourselves up real clean and nice. We want to look good for mama or baby or whoever, right? And I understand that part. At the same time, man, we're showing them a false front of what this place is really like and how we're really living every day. That ain't the truth. That ain't how we're walking around. You know what?
So listen, when we went to that thing, shout out to Brittany Robertson. We went to that thing in Houston. There was that lady. She was talking about her son, and she had a picture of him in visitation I think he was
Yeah,
coming
with
out
the
of
torn
SEG.
jumpsuit.
His whole crotch was out in his jumpsuit.
Yes.
Like you
Yes.
could see basically his whole everything, dog.
Yeah.
And that's how they sent him to visit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess that'd be a better
And he was in
alternative than that.
handcuffs. Yeah, cuffed up behind his back like that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, you remember, dog, how nasty the color. You just said the water's black. Like you're gonna get some. And what always fucked me up is that they'll give you these dirty, rotten ass clothes, and then when you go in laundry, there's stacks and stacks and stacks of new ones.
Yeah. And then they want to. How about the COs want to scream at you and threaten you and all this and that because you wash your own clothes because you're aware of that. You know what I'm saying? And don't want no staph infections or anything else like that. And you wash your own stuff. And of course, we wash in the sink, caveman style, hang it up on a clothesline and let it dry. Well, they'll go to screaming about them clotheslines. Like, come on, man, don't you want clean clothes? You like wearing clean clothes, don't you? And yeah, them type of COs. Yeah, you can't hang it up till 6 o'clock at night. The policy says 6 to 6.
That was the one good thing about the feds. We had a mop bucket that we could go get, and we washed the mop bucket out and wash the clothes in the mop bucket.
I've used it before.
Yeah,
I usually do most of my stuff in the shower, but like the big stuff, the jumpers or sheets. If I was doing good enough, man, I pay somebody else, bless somebody else's game, wash that stuff. And everything else, I usually hit it in the shower. Yeah.
So look, man, we ain't gonna keep you too long because I know it's a rough night. He literally just got the news about his friend for 15
there's
years,
a lot of people, phones blinging and blinging and blinging. All the associates.
You did have. I think you had a couple things you wanted to say though, man. I want you to, if not, it's cool. We can close it, but I think you did. I know you did. We didn't really touch on it.
Man, brother, I would need you to reorient me a little bit, man. My mind.
It don't matter. It don't even matter then because it was just what we wanted to talk about. Basically, coming home and how to get it right.
On the overall topic and subject, man, well, we talk about prison jobs and how you go to prison, man, you're going to work for free. You're going to be a slave or you're going to fade the consequences. It's your choice. I chose to fade the consequences before. When I was still young, Garza West, you're talking about 18 years old, barely. And, I'm host squad every day, medium custody host squad too. So I'm talking, we're literally, you hear the stories, right? But literally head high, uphill.
In the hot ass South Texas.
Oh my God. I've had a field officer pull a gun on me for fighting out in the fields before, pulled a pistol on me, threatened to shoot me, and they actually shot and killed a dude in the fields on French Robertson, but like I said, man, you can do, this happens. Slave labor. That should make you appreciative of being able to make some legal money out here, man. Get paid for your labor, reap the rewards of what you put in. You know what I'm saying? Earn that. It ain't hard. It just depends on your job. You don't like your job, plan on something else and think, and I would really rather be doing this with my life. Just break it down into pieces. So how do I do that? How can I make that happen? You can do it. Anybody can do it, man. I bring on people all the time that have been to prison. Matter of fact, about to start a new series coming real soon. This is what success looks like on and after parole. Yeah. And I'm never going to run out of people.
This is what success looks like on and off parole. I did 3 years on parole, and my parole went so smooth because of what you said right there. Them pay stubs and working. The man didn't have no problems with me, man. No problem. I'd get a home visit once a month.
Where your money's coming from. That's what they need to know. Yeah.
Listen, I got a home visit every month where the dude didn't even come inside. He pulled up and said, wave to me through the window. I go wave to him, and I'd ask him, you want something to drink or something? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to offer him a cold soda or something, man.
Hospitality.
Like, yeah, straight up. And one day I'm like, man, just come on inside, man. Damn, come on, check. Ain't shit to hide in here. And he's like, man, I'm busy. I got some more shit to go do. I'm like, all right, that's how good it was. But then later, I realized that same dude, if you're not working and everything else, he really will be in your house looking around at everything. Yeah. And the most important thing.
How you paying for all that? Yeah.
Right. The most important thing we said tonight was you said if nothing would have been shaken, you'd have went fast food or anything else. And I'm going to tell you why that's important.
Don't let pride get in the way.
Right. But what a lot of people that never had careers, don't work, they don't understand is, it's 10 times easier to get a job when you have a job. You go in there already employed. Oh, yeah. You go in there employed and just tell them you're not happy with your job or you're not making enough at your job. That shows them that you're a worker. Right? Okay. You coming in off the couch. Yeah, you coming off the couch, then it's not necessarily. So say your website and everything again. Shout it out there, asking in the comments.
Heart Check, Prison Strategies Group.
HeartCheckPrisonStrategiesGroup.org. Y'all, I think he's wearing a shirt. You wearing a shirt still? Or you changed?
I took it off today. I got my
Okay.
Sparta, rocking Sparta today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all. So again, if you're heading to prison, if you have a loved one coming up for parole, if you're on parole, anything, you need to contact him for advice, help, whatever. He's turned his prison bid. There he goes. Hold it a little closer. Yep. Heart Check Prison Strategies Group LLC. Boy, that's a mouthful right there.
Yeah, it is, man. To type it in, it gets long. I didn't think of that because I didn't know nothing about tech when I got out. So I didn't realize it. A person would have to type in so much stuff just to go to the website.
That's all
My
good.
bad.
Yeah. That's all good.
And I would apparently have to like re-LLC it in order to change that or something like that. I don't know.
Nah, you don't. You can get you can keep both URLs and get another one too if you wanted to. You know what I mean? And put it to the same website, believe it or not. But that's dope. I mean, shit, that's the name of the business, so it ain't that bad. It's just kind of long. You know what I'm saying? But listen, y'all, we're gonna slide up out of here. I'm gonna let him get to his morning. He said his phone's blowing up. I know a lot of people calling about his friend, man. God bless him. Rest in peace.
All the friends, man. All the homies.
Yeah. To his family, to everybody, man. Listen, every family, every person life lost that bullshit ass fentanyl and everything else, man. It's real, right? It's a tragedy. We're not gonna change it on this podcast or nothing like that. But you better know, everybody day is coming that's playing with that shit.
It ain't worth it, man. I mean, I'm not gonna promote no dope or nothing, man. But you just want to catch a buzz. I ain't mad at you for wanting to catch a buzz, or I don't give a damn if you want to get drunk or something. Man, do something safe, man. You know, all these street drugs, and there's no trust. You can't trust none of that shit. It's literally Russian roulette. The shit is not worth it. You know, if you just got to mess around with something safe. Go buy you some alcohol or something, whatever the case. Some regular, like homegrown weed or something. I don't know. Just don't get too extravagant, man, because you're playing with death. You know, and homeboy's 40 years old, barely turned 40. Come on in, man.
And my loved one was 21 years old, man. He barely got to live his life. You know, when he turned 18, he went to the feds, did about a year or so, got out for a little while, violated, had to do another year. Man, from the age of 18, he was barely free, then passed away. That's a tragedy, man.
Yes, sir.
And it left a void in a lot of us too, because we love that little dude. You know what I mean? But hey, it's real life. It's real life.
Yeah.
Y'all,
you don't want to happen to you. You don't want it to happen to your kids. You don't want it to happen to your friends. Man, speak up. You ain't got to go around preaching at nobody or nothing. But be enough of a friend to speak on it. If you really truly like, love, care about somebody, speak on it. Let them know, bro. That's all.
Right up. So listen. We're going to slide up out of here, y'all. Much love, Texas Prison Stories. Shannon right here, man. We really appreciate y'all watching on this holiday. If you watch a replay, we appreciate it. Y'all like this video for us. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumbs up, all that good stuff. And we're going to slide up out of here. We'll catch y'all later.
If y'all ain't subscribed to him, check it out. Texas Prison Story Family Salute, y'all. It's your boy Tim Snow. Got another one here for you, man. I just want to say what's up to everybody here.
Yeah, boy, you a fella. I say you got me, man. That's what I'm saying.
What Tim Snow.